Hi guys, welcome to another edition of the Incredible Hulk podcast, the first one of 2018. So happy New Year to all you Hulksters out there. We're back. Sorry, what was that? We're going to have some fun here, I can tell. Always entertainment value with these guys on. All right. My guests today are Graham. How are you there?
How we doing, mate? Happy New Year, folks.
And Phil. How you doing, Phil? Welcome back.
Absolutely good. I'm absolutely good.
Great to see you back
as well.
The trial of the Incredible Hulk.
Of which there was no trial. False advertising, goddammit.
It was only a dream.
Yeah.
It was a Bobby from Dallas moment. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Damn you, Patrick Duffy. Yeah.
The man from Atlantis has a lot to answer for.
Yeah.
So it was directed by, not only starring Bill Bixby, was directed by him too, which is great. So he was wearing many caps on this. Also introduces another Marvel hero called Daredevil.
Yes, indeed.
Played by Rex Smith in this. And the idea being that this was going to be a potential backdoor pilot for a Daredevil series, which never happened. So this was kind of like his introductory story, really. Of course, Lou Ferrigno, the Hulk again, Rex Smith as Matt Murdock, Daredevil, and John Rhys-Davies as Kingpin Fisk.
Wasn't Fisk? That's
right.
Fat Rufus for Bill and Ted.
So here we go. Straight into it. We've got a voiceover from Bill here, which is kind of harking back to the original series, like saying, in each of us there dwells a mighty beast made of rage. And he's digging the trenches, it seems, or something, doing some digging work, manual labour work, as we see him. He's sporting a rather lovely beard.
Rocking the beard, yeah.
Beard, and that comes into an interesting thing later on about the beard. We'll get onto that. Why it sort of appears and then miraculously disappears.
Yes, it does.
It was almost as if David Banner was playing the part of Grizzly Adams at the beginning of this movie.
So anyway, he's digging away, and of course we get the old cliche bully who decides to, pick on David and pushes him into this like little lake or something.
A ditch kind of lake.
Yeah, with water. And you could almost see David wanting to let rip with his shovel and whack this guy, but he stops himself,
That's an interesting point, though, because you don't really often see him I don't often see him trying to control the monster within. And this time, he's actively trying not to turn that way when he gets provoked by various situations. But
he's pissed with this guy. He wants to let go, but he has to stop himself.
Yeah.
What you will remember is this is like several years after the events of season 5, probably the TV show. So he's got a wee bit more control, you'd reckon, in terms of his anger management issues. Maybe not all the time, but sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes it's just unavoidable. But yeah. In that situation, it probably could handle it better. Anyway, of course, he realizes now that this guy's going to be bothered. There's every chance that this guy may cause a Hulk out at some point. So he has to move on, quit the job. So he hands his cards in, basically, and he heads for the big city.
Which is miraculously down the road.
Which is Vancouver.
Vancouver, which is supposed to be Hell's Kitchen. Isn't that what hell? Nice looking city.
So there he is, yeah. So, you get more bang for your buck in Vancouver, It's there, saves on the tax revenue, apparently. So there they are in Vancouver, which is doubling for some part of America. What part do you think it's meant to be? Is it meant to be
Hell's Kitchen, New York.
New York. It's meant to be New York, right? Okay. And then we get the regular Joe Harnell theme music as David walks off. All that stuff.
Speaking of the music, I did like the incidental music that started off the actual episode. It was kind of tinkly and nice and soothing, and then we go into the story itself.
More synth
music this time around, yeah. Lance Rubin is the guy that did the music for this. I think all of these trilogies, or at least the last two, anyway. So anyway, that's when we get to meet blind attorney Matt Murdock, played by Rex Smith. Simultaneously, they seem to be missing one another. Have you noticed the shots that you get, like,
yeah, You go one way, I go the other. Yeah.
David's walking by in the other direction. There's a couple of things that happen like that. They're in the same kind of world, you know. But at the moment, their paths haven't crossed. It's quite nicely done. So anyway, David checks in to the grubby side of town, you know, the rundown side of town.
Skid Row, yeah.
Skid Row, yeah. And you see the Daredevil motifs written up. People have done you see that a couple of times, you know, spray painting Daredevil on walls and things like that. So
there you go.
He's known, and we get to meet Murdoch's team. You know, team of assistant lawyers, I guess, or you know, one of them played by Nancy Everard. Who plays Krista, I think her name is in this. And another guy as well, whose name escapes me.
The guy who's the former army fella who keeps saying, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir.
Yes, that's right,
yeah. He was quite funny. I liked him.
He keeps slipping up saying, you know, about jokes about his sight. And
this is in no way a racial stereotype, but he was the Billy D. Williams of the group.
Right. He keeps doing foot and mouth jokes, doesn't he? Digging himself a bigger ditch. Yeah. But we get to see them, and we also get to see this kind of romantic chemistry between Krista and Matt as well. There's kind of little, you know, you can see there's something definitely there.
That's the whole, probably, if you go by today's adaptation, that's the whole Karen Page thing, but that's just, you know.
Yeah. And this heist, this jewellery heist, is actually very
I enjoyed that. The way they did that, that was very well done.
It was really clever.
You know what? See when I first seen it, I'm going, what a cleverly integrated, activated, executed plan. Then towards the end of the movie, when I seen what he actually done with the diamonds, and they just put them in glasses, I'm going, you went to all that trouble to give some guys some drinks that they couldn't drink. And
have some diamonds, yeah, there you go. Probably assuming he's going to make that back like quadruple in revenue, you know. That doesn't go right. But anyway, the heist is very well staged and you know, hats off to Bill. He did some great directing in these scenes.
Yeah.
It's very well put together.
And it's not just the heist with the guys in the actual jewellery store. It's everybody involved when they come out.
You got the woman trying to divert. Look at the car. She comes later on. She's a nurse, like we see later on in it. You've got the other guy coming along and she drops the thing in his bag and he walks off. It's so slick.
Yeah.
So slick.
It would prove to you how many people are on the take here in this city. What the hell?
It's a big team. Big team operation. Anyway, so they get away with loads of diamonds. They blow the safes and John Rhys Davies is a very happy fella. Yeah.
Yes.
He's relishing it. Yeah. So anyway, meanwhile, in the train subway, Banner, and again, we see another character who comes into it, the woman standing on the same platform, you know, Ellie Mendez. These two robbers, these two thug guys, just, you know, dashing down to the subway, just through the doors before it shuts and goes off.
Were they two given, what was her name, do you remember? Because the blonde one was like a pointing at her dick.
Oh, yeah.
It was.
Did you know, just anyone, you guys will may not know this, but you'll be interested. The guy that plays the one with the blonde, he's got a wig on, definitely.
Yeah.
Is in Doctor Who, the TV movie, McGann.
Oh.
The guy that's operating with Grace.
Is he one of the surgeons on McCoy? Okay, all right, yeah.
Oh.
He's there with Amazing Grace, he says. You remember that?
Yeah,
that's the guy. That's the same guy. There's a little throwback for any Doctor Who fans here. I can't remember his name. John something, I think his name is. Anyway, he's that guy. Anyway, so
I will say
he's not a shit in this.
And the scenes that they visit upon the woman, I thought it was kind of harsh for kids to watch at that time of day.
You know what?
It's pretty sleazy. It's sleazy stuff.
To be fair, what year was this movie again? Was it 89?
89.
Nah, that might have been all right. Phil, had that been the early 80s, I would have agreed with you, but it depends when they showed it as well, you know.
But it would have been like a PG film back then.
Yeah,
I suppose so. Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know what the rating, PG I'd say.
I mean, the inference was a bit much.
Yeah, but to be fair, they didn't exactly strip her naked and start taking turns spit roasting her, Phil. For God's sake, man,
No, it was very much implied, but it was a bit like creepy. It was a creepy part.
Yeah.
Anyway, Banner's trying to control himself. He doesn't want to intervene. He's thinking, "Oh no, please." Then she wants him to sit next to her, like pretend we're together. No. But eventually, he has to defend her. He says, leave her alone."
Yep.
Fight breaks out. They sling him over the seat, so he obviously has to be hidden every time he hulks out. That's the that's the trope. Yeah. And this is the bit we were talking about the beard. When he comes, it turns into Lou. No beard.
Yeah, hair. Yeah.
Beardless. How the fuck did that happen?
Yeah. Hulk, no like
Imagine seeing
beard.
the Hulk with a beard. That would have been something else, wouldn't it? Someone should do a meme of that and have the beard on the Hulk. I'm just curious what it was.
It's probably looking for English. I'm not wearing that. No. Yeah.
That's going too far.
I'm kind of wondering, did they use an actual underground station to film those segments?
It certainly looked like it, didn't it? That was a real train going through there.
But the Hulk was always smashing those doors apart. They must have had to replace the real doors to put those kind of doors in.
Oh yeah, they would have took them off and put fake ones on, I guess.
Yeah.
They would have cornered after station. The train stopped to film that scene for a couple of hours, then just
just have a few extras on the platform and that. But anyway, that's a good bit. So he throws the guy straight out. Accidentally in the struggle, one of the bad guys shoots a bystander.
Shoots through the window, and then the guy.
That's right. Yeah. And this guy goes down. And the lovely bit here of bad makeup, where Lou's running off, and you can see the side of the wig flapping like that. But the glue didn't stick properly. He's kind of like, oh god, man, continuity errors there. Anyway, the cops come, give chase. This time, enough time for him to change back to Banner, and he gets arrested.
He's naked.
He's half naked.
Yeah, half naked.
So that kind of now that's building the story. Now the story strands are coming in.
That's the setup done.
That's the setup now for him to be locked up for a while, and for Matt to come in to represent him as his lawyer. Yeah.
Yep. Counsel. Yeah. Lawyer, counsel, whatever they call it.
Yeah. So which indeed he does, and he goes to question David at the about it all. Now Ellie maintains that at this point that David was responsible
for the carnage.
Which is not true.
At this point, before we get to the hospital scenes, I just have to say a special shout out to this movie's very own Nurse Ratchet. I don't know what her name was, but she was a cow, man. Yeah. And she made a shocking end. Yeah.
It was electrifying.
It's not often you see women getting beaten up like that, and it was like, wow, she's getting slaughtered.
And she was
quite right.
The old lady earlier on going, look at the car.
She played that part as well.
That was her with all built, like
incognito. Yeah. Okay.
So they're all in on it, they're all dressed up and raring to go. Anyway, so Ellie, of course, is obviously you can tell this woman, that this nurse is silencing.
She's a bitch. Yeah.
Silencing Ellie, telling her to lie and all that. She won't go. She won't leave the room when he goes, can we have a moment on her own? No, she likes to have company.
So there's misery. Yeah.
But what's good about this is that he's got, obviously, because he's got these special powers, he can hear really well.
Yeah.
And he overhears her taking his calling card away and ringing up,
the phone call. Yeah.
And all that. So he's onto it. So the nurse alerts Edgar, and Edgar is the guy that's like...
Oh, poor Edgar. It's better for Edgar. He had a wee bit of compassion in this movie.
He did turn out to be a goodie in the end.
I saw that coming. I knew that was how it's going to turn out with him. I thought he's going to be the little knight in shining armor.
General wee dog's body, whose loyalty's master, but at the same time, he's got a heart of gold. What the hell, man?
He held the torch for Ellie, didn't he?
Well, maybe not a heart of gold. Maybe he just got a heart. Never mind. But yeah,
he just wanted a piece of the action. That's what it was.
Yeah,
I
so
wanted
Matt arrives and he's questioning Ellie, and she's again, sticking to her story of that David is responsible for all this. And so that night, because he's on to it because he's overheard that nurse talking. So that night, she's a right violent one, isn't she?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
She's whipping that old scalpel out, wherever it is, and she's trying to bump off Ellie.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, Daredevil comes in and saves the day.
Was it not a syringe?
Gives her a shocking ending. Yeah. But so that's really cool.
Basically, they go to is this not the part where Fisk alerts to Edgar that he needs Banner taken out in the actual prison?
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, we're moving on to the prison scenes, aren't we? Yeah.
He wants Ellie abducted. He wants David dead. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
This is a really interesting scene in the prison.
Look how many people are in it, in every cell, passing the foaming knife along.
Is it like a spike or something through the bars? It's really well timed as well, because he's just about to stick the guy above him on the bunk. He's just about to stick the into him, and he gets Banner, whatever his name is in it, calls him out, and it's just
right on time.
Just right on the button, man.
And this guy's like nervous wreck, sweating.
And it's at this point where we meet the Commissioner Gordon-esque type character of the city.
He was kind of, one or two, but
what was his name? Natalie. What was the chief's name again?
Tindelli.
Tindelli, yeah.
Officer Daly.
Yeah.
And a little side note about this guy, the actor that played Tindelli, was actually in an episode of the Hulk TV series in a story called Brainchild as well.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
10 years earlier. So there's a little link there. So anyway, it turns out to be a good guy, this Tindelli, because what he's trying to do with David, he gets David quietly on his own. He's trying to get him to tell the truth so that in a way he can get him out of there or whatever,
Yeah.
He seems like more of a decent cop than he was saying, like there's disease in this town. A lot of cops are really, bent and crooked and,
I'm about to say bent these days. That could mean something else.
Which kind of makes the question up.
Crooked cops, road
crooked
cops.
Which makes the question that when he was doing that press release and saying all that about against the police corruption and everything else that goes with it, you would have thought he would have been bumped up along the way.
That was 10 years prior though, when Murdoch first came to town, wasn't it?
Was it?
Yeah,
that was that.
Oh, that was a re.
That was
a flashback thing, didn't they?
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
Of how because he's saying like we need a kind of daredevil guy. We need someone to clear up the streets.
Understood. Yeah, right.
And
you're right.
Murdoch's eavesdropping this, and you think, all right, I think I'll try and do something.
Who was it? Oh, shout out to the Turk. Because
the guy in the Turk,
yeah, he was going to buy everybody a drink, then he got told to bugger off, basically.
And the old man.
Yeah, I've been a sweetheart lately. I'm a good guy. Yeah.
Can you show me some of those moves? Yeah.
Be a good boy.
Read a book.
Yeah. Nose cream. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So, but David's sticking to his story. So it's all in my report.
Mm-hmm.
Tindelli goes off. But then something has changed. Ellie has a change of heart. Calls Murdoch, telling him that David is not, is innocent, and asks Murdoch to come quickly to see her. But of course, the guys get there and take her.
Edgar's goons pick her up.
Yeah. So now that's how she comes into being kidnapped and held by Fisk and his gang.
Yep.
To Fisk Towers. Yeah.
Fisk Tower, yeah.
But she's a feisty old gal. And she's protesting to Fisk, saying, "How dare you abduct me from my life?" and blah 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 blah.
Yeah. She stands her ground. I'll get that.
Yeah. David tells Murdoch and Krista that he can't stand trial. This is when we're getting onto that sequence that we were talking about. Sequence. I cannot take the stand. I cannot be responsible. You must answer the question, and all this. And
just while we're on, you know what I loved about the dream sequence? It wasn't even Stan Lee sitting in the juror box.
Stan Lee was there. Yeah,
it was when, but it was when Lou Ferrigno, obviously, as the Hulk, tosses the guy out of the judge's desk, and the judge just goes woo, looks there, and the guy's gone, and he's sitting there just like whoa. Yeah.
Hey, look at that! I couldn't believe a man could fly.
Yeah. This isn't an episode of Dumbo, kids. No. Yeah.
So yeah, so that's a good sequence. That so the Hulk is a little bit more violent than usual. You know, he's not messing around.
Very
In
much
this
so,
dream sequence.
yes.
We've seen a potential dark side of him there. That he's throttling that guy. You know,
Oh, the lawyer. Yeah.
yeah. You think, wow, what would happen if he actually went through with that? But of course, it cuts back to the fact that that didn't happen. It was all in David's dream.
And he hulks out anyway. Yeah.
But he hulks out in for real anyway. So it's like 2 Hulk outs we get in 5 minutes, which is unheard of. But, so he breaks out. The guy in the cell is just like, what?
This is my chance to escape now too. Yay! Go, 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 go.
Yeah. So the whole place goes bonkers. What I'm really surprised is they didn't do a cuckoo nest moment here, and everyone buggered off.
Yes.
I thought you were going to say everybody go to lobotomy.
He broke out. They could have escaped. They're still there.
Oh, that's right, because Tondela came back and went, we done a head count, and only David was missing, and you're like, are you what, thick? Run! Yeah,
Yeah, why didn't they just make a dash for it? He broke a bloody great hole in the wall. They could have got out, freedom. But no, it didn't happen. But anyway, that was it was a good moment. And murder.
That's it.
Yeah, carry on. Go on, guys.
This is the point where Matt phones up the Billy D. Williams of this story.
Yeah.
And he's trying to ascertain where David's living quarters are in the city.
That's
And he uses the ruler.
That's a very good thing they did there.
With the light.
Yeah, they utilized that very well. I thought, I haven't seen that done before. That's cool.
Because he couldn't see. Yeah, he was going by the light reflecting and all this stuff.
Trajectory of the light of the building. And
Very clever. Yeah, it was clever stuff.
yeah.
So he narrows it down and finds out, give me the mean streets, the bad side there. And finally finds David. And David is now beardless.
Yes, beer. Bearded no more. No more. Yeah.
That's it. He's had enough. Yeah, being the hairy Hulk. Well, he wasn't hairy, the hairless Hulk.
Yes. Grizzly Adam has left the building.
But what's a lovely little moment here is, Daredevil comes in, confronts him, and he says, how can I trust you? By giving you my face. And then he reveals who he is. And it's like,
Yeah.
That was cool.
They realised they both got a lot more in common than they initially thought, because both the things that happened to them were through radiation or radioactive stuff. So they form a bond, an understanding, which is really good.
And that's a clever little tie, though, to those two characters when you think about it as a whole, because they both have connections to radiation accidents.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Due to radioactive material or radiation.
Yeah.
Causes them to get all these extra powers and stuff. So that's a nice little link between them. So Matt kind of goes into a backstory of how he became Daredevil. How he lost his sight when he was young. So we get to hear all that, the backstory of it and everything, which is really good. And that's what, as you were saying earlier on, that's when we get the little Batman type things, because he's got a hotline phone, like the Bat phone.
Yeah, that's it.
In Delhi to call him, Whenever there's problems or something, you can bring him up on this line,
Well, we've got a problem. We get to your Bat phone or to your blind phone, whichever way where you want to put it. That's a good little thing. That was a good little touch. And I liked it. I also like the part how when Daredevil takes David back to his abode, and he's giving him David's trying to get him to reveal about the portrait thing where it has the award, and he won't.
Oh yeah.
And I thought to myself, why are you holding that back? I mean, yes, your dad was a boxer and he got involved in the underworld of things, and it was kind of nice that he was feeling a bit touchy about the award paper. And then David saying that he's going to fight back, he's looking at your eyes, kicking him out, saying, no, you're blind for life, really. I can't help you on that score. But we can combine ourselves together to defeat these bad guys.
Yeah.
Which Daredevil is reluctant to do so.
It's interesting that. It's interesting getting a little bit more meat to the character.
Yes.
And his history and everything like that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And how he decides to become a one-man crime fighter, getting into training, suddenly realizing that a lot of what he lost in his sight, he's gained in other ways, you know.
Exactly.
His senses are heightened, like his hearing and.
With the montage where he's training in the gym when the working horse and
During the Rocky.
Yeah, it's kind of a Rocky moment, you know.
Except there's no Drago at the end. It's Wilson. Wilson.
Oh, bloody hell.
Not Wilson from Dad's Army.
Oh, the volleyball for Castaway. No, it's not. No.
So he asked for David to help him bring down Fisk and rescue Ellie. And initially, Banner doesn't want to obviously get too involved.
No.
But he said he'll do all he can before he leaves. You know, he'll try and help. So he receives a call from the Bat phone from Tim Daly. It's very Batman-esque, as I was saying to Phil. You know, and we realise that she's been taken to this place called the Web. Which is an old television studios.
Film studio, I think it was, yeah.
Yeah, so he puts two and two together and works that one out. So he leaves to get Ellie and tells David to stay.
Mm-hmm.
But David receives a call from Tim Daly, but it's too late to pick it up. And then he thinks, oh, man, I better go and try and help. You know, he can't help himself. You know?
We should share this point. The main goal at first is to video this movie of him taking down Daredevil so he can prove to the other mafia bosses in other various cities that he should be the head of the network. Yeah.
He should be the Kingpin, that's right.
Yeah, the Kingpin, yeah.
Because that's what the character's supposed to be based on, Kingpin, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, first guy's the Kingpin, yeah.
Yeah, so that's right. Yeah, so that's so he sets it up like a movie. He says you're going to play this role, and you know, to the girl, and you're going to be great in this film, and you'll play your part well, and you know, and all this stuff. So they've lured Daredevil there. They knew that he was going to come and try and get her out. So he's walking into a trap, you know, and lights, camera, sound, and of course the sound that really affects Daredevil really bad. It's like he's weakened, and the guys start beating the hell out of him. And
I love the choreography of how they were beating the poo-poo out of him. It was just so namby-pamby to a certain level, but
it was cheesy but believable enough, basically, for its time period. You know?
True.
And Banner arrives, can't get in the door, it's locked, and sees what's happening, and he hulks out.
I have a green hall pass to open this door. Yeah.
Smashes his way through, and he gets caught on camera as well.
Yeah. And the interesting thing about this is when Fisk goes to make his movie at the end of it all, he's not giving a flying hoot about who this big green thing is. He's just more interested in his movie. And you're like,
that's right.
What's his
if I was a mafia boss, would I not be like, can we capture that thing and maybe use it to our advantage somehow? No, he's not giving a flying hoot, is he? No.
You think the guys would question it, think, what the hell's that thing there? You know,
yeah.
But they didn't. Yeah, it's really kind of strange. But
I thought he cut it to the point where you don't see the whole company.
You hear it.
No, he did.
You hear him growling, I think, but he goes and stop there. Yeah, you don't. I don't think you'd see the Hulk on the film.
He did cut it. I was just making the point of view that as a crime syndicate boss, you'd be kind of like, maybe we could use this big motherfucker somehow, you know. But no, he's just totally disregarding it, and you're going, yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, he could come in handy later, but yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, it doesn't go very well, but again, Fisk manages to escape, and they get Ellie out of there as well.
Yep.
So the Hulk's left with Murdoch, who's in a really bad shape.
Mm-hmm.
And
although somehow he can seem to heal within the space of 2 days. Just saying.
Yeah. So he's got some good. He's got the old regeneration quality as well. Like
he's got the Wolverine shit, I think, in him as well.
Yeah. But anyway, and he witnesses the Hulk changing back to Banner by feeling his face. He knows. So now he's got to get back in shape because
he's a bit battered. Yeah,
and he does. He gets his strength back after a lot of cajoling from David.
Well, basically, what you have at that point is a reversal of roles where he's lost his confidence. He's vulnerable. He's not psychologically, and it's the tables are turned. Now David's the one giving him the pep talk, about the same shit he was getting David for earlier in the movie.
Exactly. Yeah. Interesting role reversal. Yeah, you're right. Role reversal. So anyway, we get
the climax of the movie essentially is when the Diamond Alliance arrive to pick up their diamonds for the earlier jewellery heist and their champagne glasses.
Yes.
And witness this massive presentation.
You type bastard. Yeah.
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 And this is all just because he wants to assure the guys that, you know, Daredevil is dead. He's done it off his own back. And it's like...
Yeah. The ego of him, yeah.
Yeah.
Egotistical.
Although my apologies, a wee minor point we forgot to discuss before we get to this point was the fact that Fisk tells Edgar to go finish off Ella.
Yes.
Mendes.
That's right. And this is when Edgar proves his worth.
Well, not before, you know, push your foot in the boot a wee bit by coming up with some cock and bull story about. If I send you a bottle of champagne and you looked up to me, well, God, I'm about to huddle.
I don't think that's despicable. I wouldn't touch you with a barge pole, mate. You know, you stopped his confidence a bit. She
was only doled up for my.
And then that creepoid comes in again. The guy from the subway car and tries to.
Yes.
Which is
No Philip. He had his partner in crime down at the downstairs guarding the elevator. He gets hijacked.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, they've got to go up the stairs and basically use his thumbprint to get in.
That's right. He uses him. Jams in between the elevator door.
Yeah.
And walks over him. I thought it was great. Yeah. So he takes out a few of the bad ones, bad eggs. So he goes off and does his bit. He's trying to get to Fisk. David's trying to get to Ellie. So there's two little things going on. Eventually, David does a bit of the old heroics and gets
helped by Edgar.
Gets the bad guy in an arm lock, and Edgar knocks him out with a plant pot.
There you go.
With a vase or a vase, as they say.
Vase or vase, yes, yeah.
Yeah. So that's all rather groovy. So and Edgar does his last good shout of goodwill and guides them as to how they can get out of the building. And
ironically, once they get that side door, Ella Mendes isn't seen again in this movie. What happened to her?
That's the end of her friend.
Was she dead? Did she get home all right? Did David Banner pay for her cab fare home? We'll never know.
Did he call for an Uber?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Have Uber,
So anyway, so that's the end of Ellie Mendes. I'm sure she's all right. You know,
I'd like to think so after all that. What the hell, man?
She went off into the sunset. So Fisk, it's like, he's giving it the big and he's glorifying and all this. He thinks that's it. Daredevil's been taken down. Everything's groovy.
I loved it when it came through the video screen. He shouts, intermission.
Yeah, he smashes the
goes garden, yeah.
Yeah. But Fisk still gets away, the bugger, with Edgar.
I assume this is what was...
That strange rocket ship type...
Well, you know what? It was ridiculous from the point of view that, he flew away into the sunset with his dog's body. But if what Frank was saying was true, it was crazy the way he escaped, but this was supposed to set up another series. So you assume he was supposed to be coming back. Yeah, obviously, it fell through. And the ending looks even more ridiculous because of that. So, what can you do? How can you hide a helicopter in the side of your building like that?
I know, but it was always reminding me of John Pertwee's Humorville, man. Okay, there we go.
It was a weird looking thing. I don't know what the hell it was meant to be. But
actually, it was more reminding me of Dick Dastardly and like flying machines. You know?
Dick Dastardly and Clunk.
Clunk, bing, 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 bing. Get the pigeon.
Stop the pigeon. I used to love that. That was great. Stop the pigeon, yeah. Oh, man. So anyway, they fly off and disappear. So he's escaped for a new day. And basically, that would have been probably they would have taken it.
Yeah.
You know what? It wasn't the fact that the thing was flying off. It's the way it was flying away. It was actually going through the building just to get like it driving through roads.
And you know what? See when you got the last shot.
It was really bad. Green screen.
And see when you got the last shot of it. If it wasn't a green screen and the way it took that last minute right turn, if that was a legit building, it would have run right through the bloody building. You know?
Maybe it was like a half invisible ship or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Why not?
It was a funny little. It was a pretty bad effect, but then again, you know, you got to bear in mind.
It was a way it is. What could you do?
They didn't think on it too long, thankfully.
Yeah, Bill Busby can get away with a dodgy wig. I think we can forgive him for a dodgy fucking. You know.
So that's
Luther Rignall, Bill Busby.
Yeah, Lou. Yeah. So basically, that was the trial of the Incredible Hulk, and that's been.
Well, done before David and Banner say their goodbye. David and Banner. David is Banner. Murdoch and Banner say their goodbyes.
They say their goodbyes. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a brother in the world now.
This story is leading into the death of the Incredible Hulk because he mentions that he's headed to some institute, radiation. You know, for like a new thing that's been.
That's right. Yeah.
Because there is. We do see some of that in Death of the Incredible Hulk. You know, that place. Mm-hmm. Where he's trying to get help for his radiation. So maybe it's leading to that, or maybe that's just a missing story. I don't know.
There you go.
But anyway, that was the trial of the Incredible Hulk, and it's been.
And we stress again, there was no trial in this movie.
Yes.
False advertising.
Yes. How dare they mislead Hulk people like this? Yeah.
It was Stephen Moffat's fault somehow. You know, yeah.
Blaming for everything, even though he wasn't there.
Yeah, you know.
Oh no, we're blaming for he was doing press gang at the time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Julius so badly. Jesus, man. Yeah, let's come back.
I was saying it was an enjoyable story. I really did like it from start.
Yeah, it's been years since I've seen it, and I really enjoyed it. So, you know,
probably the one that people like the most. I think out of the three, three. Seems to be a big hit with people, that one, you know.
To be fair, I think the third one would have got less of a rap had they been able to come back and do that fourth one like they planned. Just because it was left like that, you're like, yeah, you know. But
yeah,
you know,
interesting. But we didn't get that, sadly. But guys, thank you so much for joining me. It's been a hoot.
Always a pleasure.
Oh, I loved it.
Brilliant.
Hulk smash.
I want to see you all come back again soon. I'll keep in touch. And guys, thanks so much for listening as well. Until the next one, take care. Thank you.
Happy New Year, kids.